Robert Kiyosaki revealed Shiba Inu coin will skyrocket soon. Even though the Shiba Inu has experienced a 4-month price decline in tandem with the continuing global turmoil, some supporters appear to have been frightened by the experience. While some investors are optimistic because SHIB is still up almost 14% in the past 30 days and is presently trading at $0.00002484. Nevertheless, even with the several enhancements coming to the network this year, there is still a lot of optimism that Shiba Inu will skyrocket to the much anticipated $1 milestone. Investors from a wide range of backgrounds have a soft spot for the Shiba Inu. Aside from being popular among novice investors seeking their first break, SHIB is also a favorite among whales, who use the dogecoin to store their wealth. As reported by Whale Stats, SHIB has taken the top rank in 4 separate categories, according to their data. SHIB is the 3rd most valuable cryptocurrency globally, trailing only Ethereum and FTX. However, with 170,784 tokens, valued at around $511 million, it should come as no surprise that Ethereum claims the top slot on this list. The Shiba Inu has also made it onto the top 10 most popular breeds list, due to the acquisition of 495 million tokens in the last 24 hours. The average amount purchased by the whales was worth approximately $12,482. As a result, SHIB was ranked 10th out of 20. Ethereum was once again at the top of the list in this category. SHIB also made it to the top 10 of the most widely utilized intelligent contract platforms. On the other hand, the token has been removed from this list. However, SHIB should reclaim its place on this list based on the other measures. Published for the first time in 1997, Rich Dad Poor Dad has sold over 32 million copies worldwide. Robert Kiyosaki and Sharon Lecter's finance book analyzes the attitudes toward money of wealthy and poor fathers to show the differences. In his 70s, Kiyosaki is still working hard to alter people's perceptions of money and money management. He believes that Bitcoin BTC and cryptocurrencies in general is a topic that everyone should be familiar with. The Rich Dad Poor Dad website was built to solve the issue, which includes a free cryptography book and a cryptocurrency section. The fundamental reason why the well-known author is so enthusiastic about cryptocurrencies is that he wants to protect himself from deflationary currency. Unlike most others, I am not utilizing Bitcoin to make millions of dollars, he wrote in a recent blog post. Instead, I'm using Bitcoin to safeguard my millions of dollars. As a form of insurance against the collapse of the dollar, Bitcoin, in my opinion, is digital gold. Bitcoin is thriving, he wrote on Twitter on August 23rd. Gold is still at a standstill. Silver has fallen off by half from its all-time highs. The value of the dollar is decreasing. Silver is the most acceptable investment, since it has the lowest risk and the highest potential. Bitcoin has the most growth potential. Since the currency is falling, Bitcoin and silver are the ideal investments right now. He recognizes that the last 2 years have changed our lives, and that we must learn to make riches rather than relying on the government to get by. He also has been a great advocate for discovering ways to become financially self-sufficient through entrepreneurship. The author, Robert Kiyosaki, encourages everyone to think outside the system, and believes that cryptocurrencies are a good method to accomplish this. The American businessman and author of the critically acclaimed book Rich Dad Poor Dad has shared his views on the current financial market. Kiyosaki is a Bitcoin maximalist who has become increasingly outspoken about his views on cryptocurrency in recent months. According to a recent tweet from the 74-year-old, gold, silver, and Bitcoin are considered haven assets in the event of a global financial market catastrophe. The greatest time to prepare for a crash is before the crash, Kiyosaki wrote in a tweet. Before a crash is an ideal time to prepare, Kiyosaki tweeted. The world is about to witness the biggest financial meltdown ever. The good news is that the financial crisis is a perfect moment to get rich. Sadly, the next crash will be prolonged, so get as much gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, and Bitcoin as you can while you still can. Take precautions. While Kiyosaki backs Bitcoin as a value store, alongside other precious metals such as gold and silver, governments and companies continue to view Bitcoin as a viable asset in terms of risk diversification, and as a store of value, according to the Wall Street Journal. In a series of tweets over the previous few weeks, the author emphasized his preference for these investments, going so far as to suggest, get gold, silver, Bitcoin, and Ethereum before the greatest fall in history. He then stated on Twitter that he had a lot of cash, and his Bitcoin, gold, and silver were not for sale at this time. The famous American businessperson Robert Kiyosaki plans to expand his Bitcoin holdings during the market downturn. When Bitcoin was trading between $6,000 and $9,000, the founder of Rich Global LLC informed his followers that he had purchased the cryptocurrency asset. The investment of Robert Kiyosaki is not the only well-known figure who owns Bitcoin. In May 2021, Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, disclosed he owns the world's most valuable digital asset, Bitcoin, which he acquired in 2013. In addition, he referred to Bitcoin as digital cash. In the previous 2 months, the value of Bitcoin has plummeted by about 50%. On the other hand, large cryptocurrency holders feel that its fundamentals are robust enough to maintain its long-term price growth. Kiyosaki's latest price drop represents a purchasing opportunity for long-term investors. Your earnings are created when you acquire, not when you sell, the author explains. The value of Bitcoin is plummeting. This is fantastic news. Bitcoin was $6,000 and $9,000 when I purchased it. I'll buy more if and when Bitcoin reaches the $20,000 mark. It's about time to get richer. Silver is the greatest deal available today. Silver is still 50% below its all-time high, he stated, despite a significant decline in the value of Bitcoin. Institutional investors raised their holdings in the cryptocurrency. MicroStrategy is a good illustration of this. Even countries are now putting money into the Bitcoin drop. According to reports, El Salvador, a Central American country that adopted Bitcoin as legal cash last year, recently bought 410 Bitcoins BTC in a trade worth $15 million. Several Latin American countries, including El Salvador, are leading the way by declaring Bitcoin legal tender and introducing new financial instruments, such as volcano bonds, that leverage natural mining resources. We can expect others in LATAM to follow, including Costa Rica, Argentina, and beyond, said Ray Youssef, the CEO of Paxful. BTC will elevate itself as a model for the masses and an inclusive pathway to financial freedom, he added. Kiyosaki urges people to invest all of the money they have saved aggressively. He encourages them to build a portfolio of investments or generate passive income to augment their usual source of income. Several chapters of his book are devoted to explaining how those who do not invest are losing money on their investments. This author demonstrates how the bank-provided savings interest rate is significantly lower than inflation. As a result, if the money is left untouched, it will simply lose its worth. The author also discusses how the United States government could devalue money more quickly than it earned when Richard Nixon removed the world from the gold standard. His investing ideas are viewed as excessively dangerous by the general public. According to personal finance experts, this is the reason why Robert Kiyosaki is condemned. Throughout his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki explains that the majority of people spend their entire lives attempting to improve their income. He refers to it as the rat race, in which everyone who works a 9-to-5 job works extremely hard but ultimately achieves little. The answer, he argues, rests more in the spending patterns than in the salaries of individuals. People who have a rich dad mentality put a significant amount of their earnings into investments. As a result, they essentially convert cash flow into assets, generating even more cash flow than before. In contrast, people who have a poor dad mentality use the additional cash flow to acquire more liabilities. More liabilities are manifested in the shape of a larger car, a larger house, and so on. As a result, their cash reserves are depleted at the time. As Robert Kiyosaki demonstrates, a person does not become wealthy simply by increasing their income. Instead, they must spend all their earnings on liabilities and expenses. Instead, a person grows wealthy by putting their money into assets that provide an income. Several works have addressed this topic in further depth, using the term savings rate to describe the concept. On the other hand, Robert Kiyosaki delivers it in an easy-to-understand manner. According to data distributed by the @SheBurn service, which aggregates data on SHIB burns from Etherscan, the SHIB community continues to remove SHIB tokens from circulation. Over the day, a significant number of SHIB, totaling more than 213.6 million SHIB, were transmitted to dead-end addresses, from which coins could neither be spent nor withdrawn. Apart from that, a large SHIB burner plans to exterminate at least 514.5 million Shiba Inu in a period of slightly more than 2 weeks. It only took the burn team's 10 transactions to eliminate that much meme cryptocurrency from the system. That was the equivalent of $5,360 in today's money. On their website, @SheBurn compiles all SheBurn transactions from Etherscan and displays them in one place. According to the information, SheBurn.com cremated more than half of the value mentioned above cryptocurrency, 150 million SHIB, less than 12 hours ago. Furthermore, on March 2nd, two SheBurn firms, Shiba Coffee Company and Smile Lab Games, destroyed 15 million coins. Shiba Coffee Company and Smile Lab Games. On Twitter, the Shiba Inu community congratulated them on their achievement. It was revealed on Twitter for the Travis Johnson SheBurn Games firm that they had purchased $12,806 worth of SHIB by March 1st in preparation for their forthcoming burn event. The corporation used cash from advertising in its games to purchase Shiba Inus, which they subsequently burned when acquired. As a result, this company will be responsible for destroying at least 514 million SHIB in approximately 11 days. The total amount of SHIB now in circulation is 549 trillion SHIB.